And it's your boy, Prince of Pain, coming to you live from the Midwest, Chicago, presenting the wonderful Melanie Hogan and the Chilove Radio Show out of Pop Radio Worldwide, putting on People Radio, Spotify Premium, iHeart Radio. How are you doing, Melanie?
Hey, all is well. Welcome, love. Welcome to the Chilove Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeart Radio, and Spotify Premium. I hope everybody had a decent weekend. We just celebrated Father's Day. So to all you fathers out there, I hope you had a great day. You've been putting in work forever, so you deserve that day. The Chilove Radio Show is hosted by the one and only Melanie Hogan and sponsored by Chilove LLC. So let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths. Going to inhale and let your tummy fill up with air. Hold it for 3 seconds and then exhale. One, two, three. Taking a couple deep breaths is always good to ground yourself, to refocus so that you can focus on the task at hand. So let's talk about COVID-19. Seems like there's always something to update on regarding the COVID-19 virus. Illinois has passed the milestone of 6,000 deaths. So far, we are at 6,647 deaths, with 658 new cases and 25 additional deaths. We have 136,762 people who have contracted the virus overall. State health officials began reporting of probable cases and deaths under guidance from the Centers of Disease and Control and Prevention, which means that they meet the criteria, but the person wasn't tested. So what they're saying here is they kind of take an estimated guess, make a hypothesis based on how many cases it is so far, based on the type of interaction that people are having with each other, whether or not people are wearing masks or, keeping up with the guidelines like they're supposed to, so they do an estimate. And it seems like we're starting to meet it. Those numbers are starting to go up. So we still must practice safety by wearing our masks when we are around groups of people, and definitely sanitizing our hands. We must continue that. Although I know, Chicago is opening, it's summertime, you don't even think twice about having to grab a mask, a lot of times. So we have to be mindful of that. Maybe try to keep it a mask and some sanitizers by your keys or whatever, or your purse or something, so they should just always have it on you, because a lot of these establishments are not going to serve you or allow you to come in if you don't have those masks now. So,
yep, right.
And just so that, we want to get through this. We don't want to just become a victim of COVID. We want to overcome this pandemic that we have going so far. So June has been a roller coaster of ups and downs on the reports. 1 second they're saying that the cases are going down. 24 hours later, they're saying that, the numbers are skyrocketing. So it's not really a predictable virus here. Governor J.B. Pritzker's administration is optimistic that the gradual reopening state is slowly emerging from the pandemic. Despite the numbers continuing to go up, they are still optimistic that we will be able to get back to some sort of normalcy. People are still urged, as I said, to maintain social distancing practices and wear face coverings. Also, sanitize your hands, because a lot of stuff is getting transferred because of what we're touching. So it's one thing to have a mask on our face, but if we're touching, everything and then not sanitizing after that, it's kind of making the whole mask thing redundant. So they are aiming to stay on track to enter phase 4 for the reopening plan as early as June 26th. And when we go into phase 4, it would allow for gathering for up to 50 people at a time. So far, despite the numbers going up, we're still continuing to move forward here at the city in Chicago. The Chicago Lakefront Trail is now back open. The Chicago restaurants are going to start to have some indoor limited seating starting June 26th. And we are so far en route to move into phase 4. But I just want to keep everyone cautious. Also earlier this morning, they were saying, at first they were saying that the cases were mainly for like 65 plus, the elders and everything. They saying now this new wave is starting to hit the ages between 18 and 35. Those are the ones who actually are starting to get the highest statistics amongst this COVID now. So it's starting to turn around, which I could totally understand how it is turning around, because it has been that age group who has been defying the orders, who you rarely see with masks on, rarely see with hand sanitizer, not keeping the social distancing practices that we were told to. So I'm not surprised that the age group between 18 and 35 are starting to see an increase in catching the coronavirus. Now, thankfully, yes, we have seen some deaths, but a lot of people are healing from it and coming back. It's just that if you can avoid losing your sense of smell and sense of taste and ability to breathe, if you can avoid having to go through that, I would highly recommend it. It's really not worth it when you can just put on a little mask and make sure you wash your hands. So on that note, since we're speaking about death, I wanted to speak on the mother of Inglewood. She passed recently. And a lot of people may not have heard of her. Her name was Clara Kirk. She was 79 years old. She ran homeless shelters for 30 years here in Chicago. And when I saw Clara's house, I actually had heard of that before, but I didn't know to what extent that this lady had been putting her time and energy into the city of Chicago and into Inglewood especially. So she had Clara's house and Clara's place. She received prestigious awards, the Jefferson Award and a Service Award from former President Bill Clinton. She also received numerous national and local public service awards for shelter and services, including the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Award for Outstanding Public Service, benefiting local communities. She was the mother of Inglewood for work with battered women and children through her West Inglewood United organization. I want to give Miss Clara Clark and Kirk and her family a Chilove salute for her dedication here in Chicago and Inglewood, especially because we're starting to see some improvements here in Inglewood, but within that 30-year span, it was a lot going on here. It was a lot going on here in Inglewood. And for her to take the stand and help with the battered women and the children, Chilove salute to Clara Kirk. They said that she adjusted her life to live in a community where she could meet the critical needs of countless women and families. That's good. That's good character right there. She saw that there was a need, and she adjusted her own life, realizing that it was more than just her here, and realizing that life is more than about just her well-being, but also the well-being of others. So, Miss Clara Kirk showed exemplified very great character. Ms. Reverend Jeanette Wilson, who is a civil rights aid attorney and Rainbow Push Coalition senior advisor, said that every community needs a Clara Kirk who sees everyone in need as a member of her family. That's a good point, because ideally, when it comes to family, you're supposed to step up to take care of your family, no matter what situations they get into, how many times they've been back and forth in this situation, just off the fact that it's family, period. Some type of way, we are supposed to step in and help out. And a lot of times, part of the problem is them and us type of situation. If we was a we, the atmosphere, the energy in the atmosphere will flow a lot better because you're thinking, this is part of me right here. This is one of mine right here. So I need to look out for it. I need to take care of it. I need to make sure that it's still safe. And if we all had that type of mentality, the world would definitely be a better place.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about the money and everything that's needed, the housing, and, you know, all this tangible stuff that's going on. And yes, it is a necessity. We do need those resources. But the way that we treat people, everything is coming down to the way that we treat others. Stuff with George Floyd, the way that he was treated. Stuff with Breonna Taylor, the way that she was treated. It's the way that we are treating each other, the type of energy that we are transferring that is really bringing us to a demise, to our own demise a lot of times. And we know how there's a golden rule. It's called treat others as you would want to be treated. So even if you can't personally agree with the situation or even relate to the situation, just the fact that if you were in the situation and you would want someone to help you, you know, it doesn't take much for you to realize that you can play a role in helping somebody else as well. If you want someone to help your child if they were in that situation, you should be willing to help somebody else's child if you see them up in a situation, because you want that same thing done for you and yours. And it doesn't take much from you. A lot of people somehow have the idea that if they give to others, do for others, then, you know, what am I going to have for myself? But what you don't realize is that you're actually opening up more doors of blessings to come in to you. And it may not come in through the person that you opened up the door for or did something for, but it'll come back around. That's just the way that the energy of the universe works. So you'll definitely be actually helping to bless yourself more by helping somebody else, and with a genuine heart. So Miss Kirk, she launched the Westside Inglewood United Organization in 1983. Well, I was like 2 years old, going to be 3. While continuing to work for the Chicago Public Schools as a custodian. So I can see how, as a custodian and working inside the CPS, she saw a lot of stuff. She saw a lot of stuff. She heard a lot of stuff. And that right there, having that job right there, although some may call it remedial or anything, it probably was like her link to opening up these other homes, because it gave her a chance to really get to see how the children were responding and behaving, how the parents are coming up there and, you know, they're expressing their needs or whatever is going on with them, how the school staff and administration is reacting towards the needs of the children. So sometimes it can seem like you're in a minuscule place, but it may be just what you need to open up your eyes to make you move on to something greater, to make something even greater come out of you. What they say, don't despise small beginnings, because you never know where it can take you. So Clara's house took in families for up to 120 days. Clara's Place was a 13-unit apartment building offering long-term housing for families transitioning from the shelter. And then she had Clara's Academic Center. She annually served more than 300 women and their families. Before she opened up the shelter, her and her husband gave homes to plenty of people who were homeless that lived with her. So this woman started off with what she had. All she had was the roof over her own head, and she opened it up to other families and other women until she was able to move to an actual center. to where she can house these women and children and their families. She was known for saying the best way to serve God was to serve your neighbors. That can be understood because when you know about Mama Big God, and you know that Mama Big God created everything, whether we had a good day or a bad day, everything, we all are extensions of each other. So the story in the Bible where Jesus was telling his people, like, y'all didn't take care of me. And they like, Jesus, when did we take care of you? We didn't see you. He said, when I was hungry, them people that you passed by that was hungry, that was me. Them people that you saw with no clothes on or holes in their clothing, that was me. Them people that you saw outside homeless, that was me. We're all connected as one. So, and we all need each other. So they said that she taught by example and how to be humble and of service to others. Humbleness is a trait that a lot of people need to work on a little more, because sometimes you start to do things for people and you become big-headed. It's one thing to be confident and another thing to be conceited or narcissistic. It's a situation where we are all realizing that we are all of worth, regardless of our status, regardless of the money in our pockets. We are all of worth, and knowing that you were blessed to have what you have, to not only provide for you and your family, but to help others as well. So we need to remain humble. Like, it's a good feeling when you're doing great things, but it should never push you to the point where you're looking down your nose at somebody else or mistreating them because you feel like they're not on your level. This woman just wanted to help people, and that's how she lived her life. I believe that when she did that and got home, she got a job well done, because she saw that she had a purpose here, and she fulfilled that purpose, just giving of herself. Her buildings are located near 63rd and Ashland. She was described as never giving up, even when things look bleak. I think that's something that we all could take with us. Never giving up when stuff looks bleak. When things are going good, we are excited. Our energy is high. We with it. Stuff starts to slip and fall. We want to go hide in a corner. You want to join the bull crap that's going on because you feel like walking the other ways and working for you. You just give up. You just give up. But you got to understand, you didn't get to where you are character-wise, person-wise overnight.
Amen.
So you're going to have to, it's going to take some time. And you're going to be tested to see if it's where you really are. A lot of people who say, well, I'm naturally a mean person, but I'm trying to do this nice thing. So it's like a lot of times you'll find that you are starting to change you, and you are actually trying to be more considerate and nice to others. And you may actually discover that you may have a little more extra people being mean to you or being snotty to you or whatever, but that's part of your test, because you're not moving to change. In order to change the outside, you got to change the inside. So it's like, even when this crazy stuff is happening, keep your heart. And yes, you get upset, and yes, you get pissed off, and sometimes you're going to lay hands or, lay down the body, depending on what the situation is. But it's one thing to get angry, and it's another thing to get angry and to act on it. So, we just can't, when we're going into these new journeys and on these new paths and growing and developing different parts of ourselves, just because we're not seeing immediately results, don't mean that you just go back to what you fought so hard to get away from. Everything is not easy, and some of the easy stuff cause you a whole lot of unnecessary trouble later on. So just pace yourself, congratulate yourself for the progress that you have made. Keep going. Keep going. If you realize that you're responding to something in a way that's like the old you or whatever, give yourself an assessment and say, okay, this is what was going on, an objective assessment. Because see, the subjective part made you pop off and start cursing somebody else because your feelings was vapid. So that's you didn't respond.
I said, I love it. This Motivation Monday for me. This Motivation Monday right here on Side Love Radio, Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium. What was her name? What was her name again? The lady we're recognizing. What's her name again?
Clara Kirk.
Clara Kirk. God bless her, man. God bless her.
Yes.
God bless her soul.
Yes.
God bless her.
She did some great work. I'm very proud of her, and hopefully her family will continue to, carry out her legacy because we definitely need it. So going from this wonderfulness, Miss Clara Kirk, I love salute to you and your family. Job well done. Hopefully you have inspired, especially those that you have taken under your wing to continue to pay it forward and help other people, help other families. We all are connected one way or another, whether we like it or not. So the higher that we can all start to vibrate as a people, the greater everything will really start to be. The energy that you feel is not just yours all the time. Sometimes you feeling somebody else's stress. Sometimes you feeling somebody else's pain. I know I'm empathic, so I receive that a lot. And it's a lot. It's tight. It's stressful. You got to try to transmute energy to, rebalance everything. So we could all start to just start to elevate higher. Don't force yourself to be in situations where are triggers for you. You are getting to know yourself for a purpose, and the purpose is letting you know what you can and cannot endure, or how much of it you can endure, whether or not it's going to have you on a higher vibrational level or a lower one. So those things of knowing who you're around, who you with, how things are going to make you respond and so forth are important. But in the meantime, just work with what you have. Even if it's a little bit, you can always do a little something, and more will come to where you'll be able to bless yourself and bless others. So let's move on the Shy Love Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium, to this whole CPS and the police being removed from the schools. They are bumping heads on this situation like for real. So now, CC Lightfoot has, she has really started to take a stand, and especially like with how the police are behaving towards civilians and everything, and how they're responding to, these calls. But as far as them being in the CPS, she does not favor removing the officers from the school.
She does not?
Yeah, she does not favor it. Now, I know that, some kids cut up in school. Some children cut up in school. I was in Catholic school coming up. So when I would get to go outside and be around the kids that were still at the local neighborhood school, they'll be laughing, and I'm hearing stories about them body slamming teachers, just getting with them, getting with them, get them scared to come back and stay at home classroom, scared to come back to work. So, this is like a touchy subject. I think maybe they shouldn't be.
You know what, though, Melanie?
What?
I went to school on the west side. As a matter of fact, I went to school with crucial conflict and do or die on the west side at Brian Piccolo in the 80s. Okay? It wasn't no police. It wasn't no police in our school. You hear me? I remember maybe one security guard and two security guards. Yeah. And we were some bad kids. You understand what I'm saying? And
I heard that.
You talking about cutting up. We went to a school that used to be a high school. So we thought we was in high school already. We had lockers and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all about respect, man, and about the people you put in position in these educational schools and programs. Like me as a kid, I remember looking up to the gym teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was a strong father figure, older brother guy. He taught us morals, respect, fundamentals. And it's all about the people you put in position. In the lunchroom, we had solid people.
Yeah.
A little fight, shake it off. You know, it's all about leadership. But we didn't have no cops. We didn't have no
I know we used to have our teachers and stuff used to intervene. Like, they didn't play that bad. But I did speak to a teacher who said that they cannot intervene because CPS told them that they wouldn't, like, if they got hurt by trying to break up a kid fight, they just offer work paid with no pay. No pay. And, you know, they have to take a leave of absence until they heal back up, but they won't be getting paid because they chose to intervene in, you know, something with a child. And then I heard that a teacher actually did intervene with a child with a fight and pulled them apart. One of the parents came back and sued the school and said this teacher pulled my son, you know, too hard or whatever, and ended up suing the school. So it's like they was like, okay,
let me ask you a question. So let's say instead of the school teacher, instead of the security guard, instead of the lunchroom lady, instead of the counselor walking down the hallway that bumped into a juvenile fighting, and instead of them stepping in and breaking it apart, let's say we get a Chicago police officer down that intervenes, breaks them apart, maybe chokes one of them a little bit too hard, hits them with some mace, let's say it's a crooked cop and don't like the kid, don't like his father, don't like his mother, plant some drugs on them. So, I mean, you're still going to deal with a lawsuit, whether it's the police department. They're all still city officials. They're still they're still getting paid by the city of Chicago now. So, I mean, you're telling us you're going to let, either way, you're saying you're not responsible or do not want to be responsible for the repercussions that come with being, with serving, protecting, and educating our youth. That's what you're pretty much saying.
Right. Yeah. And that there's a problem. I don't personally feel like, I feel like school's supposed to kind of be a comfortable educational atmosphere. And with the police standing there, even though, you know, we used to hear about little officer friendly come in or whatever back when I was little, I ain't heard about no little officer friendly in a long time. But sometimes the police officers in the videos that I have seen, they have dealt with them children like they were criminals on the street, like even little girls slamming them, and it's just like, that's ridiculous. If they give the parents back their rights, a lot of this stuff could be avoided if you give the parent back the right. That's that parent's child. She know her child, or he know his child. They know what works for their child. Give these parents back some of their doggone rights as far as being able to discipline their child, and then y'all won't be snatching your hair out or running to the doggone police, because a lot of times the child be cutting up until they hear your mama coming.
I agree with you 100%. But you can't even give a child a proper ass whooping no more without getting DCFS involved and winding up in court and losing days to go to work. I know some good parents. That's why that right there should be amended. And they need to go back and look over that, because first of all, it's an insult for you all to carry this type of air that we don't know how to take care of our children properly, and we need you to come in and do it. When you're not taking care of anything, we are the ones who have to be with these children 24/7, going through hell and high water with these children and get them to where they need to be. Now, yes, there are children, parents who abuse their children. It is a difference between abusing a child and disciplining a child. Abuse comes with punishment. Discipline comes with teaching. There is a difference with that. So yes, that should be, the range should just be totally let off to where it's telling the parents, if you want to choke your child out. But no, if you need to discipline your child, if your child steady running out here in the streets, don't want to listen, you know that they are on a route to possibly death,
or to run in with the police, and you need to get a hold of that child and get that child attention and to let that child know this is a no-no, because not only is it not going to benefit you, but whatever happens to you happens to us as a family, because we're all impacted by that. The state needs to raise up off of some of that. It's an insult for you to feel like somebody who had this child cannot raise this child properly without y'all telling them exactly what to do and how to do it. That's actually not even logical, seeing that we are all individuals and each child responds differently. Even if all the children are from the same parent, this child is going to respond this way to this message. This child is going to respond opposite way. You got to get to know each child and be able to give them a care plan to know what's going to, help them and what's going to be counterproductive for them. They need to take a step back from off this whole pigeonhole that they have over parenting. And then you turn around and you put the police in the school to kill these kids. You got the teachers who feel like they're not going to take none, because I've seen some teachers get with some kids because they feel like, nah, you don't know your place. But if you had allowed that parent to be in their proper place and to put that child in a place, a lot of the stuff really will start to decrease, because they know that the parent is active in this child's life, and the school officials, and if anything with the police, those who work with the juveniles, not just anybody off the street, they should come in as a backup and a support to the parent. So, they really whooping their own tail. They set this stuff in motion. It's backfiring. Some stuff you need to just go back to and let kind of be traditional, because it was working. And of course, life is about evolving, so we have to continue to move forward. But some stuff should be foundational, and some of these officials need to understand that some stuff not your business. You don't have the whole picture, and you coming in to somebody else's family and disrupting their whole life, only to place this child somewhere else, and then this child still has behavioral problems. And now these, people are, and it's like the child needs some type of specific reprimand or a certain type of love, a certain type of discipline. We could go into a whole bunch of mess about that, but they need to give more of the parents back more of their rights, with disciplining their children, with raising their children, teaching their children, and so forth. Just because you have a license or you're certified for something don't mean that you can, know what's best for somebody else's family. So nevertheless, the protesters have been calling on them to remove the police. They want police-free schools. Our schools are not jails, is what they're saying. Because some people can argue that having the police inside of the school system is subtly preparing them for jail, which they say that a lot of the youth is, who are in school end up in jail in one form or another. So if you can already make them start to conform in school, once they get to jail, it's not too bad on them, and following directions, of, following orders, and just getting in alignment and conforming to that jail system. That is definitely not the route that we should be going to prepare them to be able to conform to jail. That's ridiculous. Teaching these children how to, whether they meditate, whether they pray, whatever link they have on a spiritual note or religious note to help them gain inner peace, give them a voice to start to discuss their issues without making them seem like they're dumb or that they're not worth listening to, or you let them say what they say, but you had already made up your mind before the child started to speak. So it's like that type of stuff needs to be changed. And that's like you said, the type of people that you put in these positions. A child can tell when somebody cares about them, even if it's a stranger. A child can tell. And, a lot of children have been saying, like, they put like a lot of the younger teachers in so they can relate more to the child. That's good to a certain point, except when the teacher forgets that they're the teacher and this is still a style here. So now
Yeah.
you want to get on the level with the kids.
Yes.
Very counterproductive, and then that's why they start to just straight disrespect you because they know that you should know better, even though they know that they not doing what they supposed to do. They know right from wrong. They know what little envelopes and stuff they be pushing. Sometimes, and a lot of them got poor coping skills because of things that they have been through and are going through. And yes, it's a business. We cannot take the humanity out of the business because we're dealing with people. It's different if it was all computers. We're dealing with people. So yes, we got to get the money, but how many souls are we willing to destroy just to say that we're a top tier school or, on top of everything? And you got these kids out here turning into a walking zombie. This generation of kids are warriors. They strong with it. It's say less and do more. They don't want to hear none of this extra stuff. And then kids know when you bull crapping them too. You sitting up here running game on them. Everybody lying to kids. You feel like they don't need respect. I taught my children ever since they were little. Even though you are a child, you deserve respect. Your voice deserves to be heard. We need to give these children a platform to speak. And then if they say that it's a problem with something, let's try to put them in a position to where they can actually start to formulate some sort of solution so that their minds can think, okay, teach them how to think. Okay, you know that this is a problem. So a lot of times people just dwell straight on the problem. Let's teach them how to, okay, there's a problem. Now, what are some things that we can do to make this work out for everybody because we have to share this space? If you take more time with these children, allow the parents to have more of a say-so and input and really do this together. Because it was some years ago, they were trying to phase out the parental involvement as far as CPS in the school. And I rode down there with them to protest about that. You don't have that much doggone knowledge to be trying to take away that much power and stuff as far as somebody else's child. The officials need to become humble and understand that you have your place, but the parent also has their place, the child has their place, and so forth. And that we all need to put our minds together and see how we can make this work for everybody. Because school is supposed to be a safe zone. It's supposed to be a safe zone, and the police aren't really giving off that message that it's safe, especially now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had more cases of PTSD or more children actually starting to act out when they come in and see the police, especially after what we've been through alone in 2020.
Pretty traumatic for any kid.
Yeah, seriously. And then, it's like they say don't run, or if you run, you proceed guilty. But it's like, no, they scared for their life. They're not always guilty. They don't want to die. They don't want to die. They don't want to get something put on them because you having a bad day. It's just ridiculous.
They feel like every ex-convict in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, seriously. Look, even with the females, though, they don't. It's like, what's the problem? You might be getting hugs. It might be some loving.
That's a pretty interesting. That's a pretty interesting topic, though.
Yeah.
We spoke about reform in the police department here one of these last episodes. Police reform inside the CPS and the effects of having and not having them and the reform of maybe even amending parental rights. Right. That's pretty deep stuff. That's pretty interesting deep stuff, Melanie.
They need to, because it's not going to take just one set of people. Everything that's going on, everybody needs to be hands on deck. Everybody needs to be hands on deck, one way or another. We can't, yes, we voted these people into office, but we know what's going on. You know what's going on with you. You know what's going on with your family. You have greater knowledge of what's going on within your neighborhood. Everybody needs to have hands on deck, one way or another. Even if it's an idea that you need to throw out there, or how to go forth with implementing that idea, how to make sure that it stays maintained, Everybody has a role to play. And yes, they saying that, arresting students is not the answer. It's not the answer. They coming out traumatized. And then these boys is making babies. The babies not having their fathers around like they're supposed to. Or if they are, they, watching their dads disrespect the mama. So now, you don't even realize how they break the child's heart to see the two people that they love the most hurting each other. That hurts their child. So now something inside this child is changing, becoming more volatile, becoming more violent, becoming more shut down because of the energy, that's around. She mad at him because he can't get a good job. But see, the police here planning something on him. Now he got to tell him he can't get it. Or maybe the police did plan something on him. Maybe that's just how he was getting the money for what was needed at the time. But now he in a situation to where he can't properly take care of him. And a woman trying to be understanding, but she can only understand for so much because that baby hungry or that baby needs, or she carrying the whole burden by herself. So it's like it's very disruptive and counterproductive in the long run with the images and stuff that we place in, and in everybody's minds about their worth and who they are. So we need a lot of healing. We need a lot of healing. For real. So the protesters are saying that they can save money by not having the police in schools, and it should be spent on training the existing staff or hiring others who are better able to counsel kids. And especially ones who trying to navigate through these streets just to get to school. We could actually have like little teams on the little hot spots where the little kids trying to get to the school. We actually need more of these guys who are out here who actually got pulled in the street to step up and stand and, put a little order. We don't have much order anymore. What happened to the order? Nobody knows the lit no more. They don't know no order. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. We need to do some things all over again. Some stuff needs to be torn down to be built back up because ideally it should be that we should be empowering each other some type of way. Even if you're going to tear down something, replace with the resources to help build back up. Don't just tear down and leave it there. Help pour into it anew so that this person could be built back up. Goodness gracious. Like what they're saying, that security announced that is needed in certain schools. The really hard-hit neighborhood needs to make sure. See, so it's not even just about the students being safe. The teachers are afraid. They have a little more, peace of mind when the police are there. To keep them safe from these kids, because a lot of kids are fighting their own parents. So what they care about fighting a teacher. So, you don't want to go to jail for having a Mecca being somebody else's child. So I guess in an adult space, it'd be better for the police to be there, and then they can intervene, and that'd be a situation that you could possibly, avoid. But I just think that we can come together and find a better way to do this. They shouldn't be in school, but should there be maybe some police officers who deal directly with the schools that's on standby and who wait to be called after the officials have exhausted all possibilities to deal with this child, after you done brought the parents in, after everybody has sat down and had a talk. Only if it gets out of hand should you bring in Hank Boy. That's when you bring Hank Boy. After you didn't try everything. You didn't give it respect, you didn't did it nicely, you didn't did it with a little firm hand, but still with discipline. And this child is just totally refusing and is becoming a harm to his or herself or to others, to where somebody's life is in danger. Then you call in Hank Boy. But other than that, these are kids, people. I know they bigger than us. A lot of these kids bigger than me now, but it's like they're still a child. You can still approach them and talk to them and try to get through to them, or just help out in some other way than just saying, "Oh, you're bad, so we're gonna lock you up. I'm gonna treat you like you nothing. You want to act like you nothing, I'm going to treat you like you nothing. That's not, it's not conducive to what we're trying to have going on here. So while we're talking about what would be conducive to helping to empower each other and build each other up, let's go into our health and wellness segment. So a lot of us say that we would like to change our life. In order to change your life, you must start to change certain habits. It's as simple as that. Some stuff you are preconditioned to, some stuff you are conditioned to, and some stuff needs reconditioning. You just have to take the time, understand that it is a process, make a conscious decision to abstain from certain things or certain behavior. Start to change your habits, start to change your schedules, start to change the type of people that you are giving a lot of your energy to. Because some people you are giving them a lot of your energy and it's draining you and nothing good is being poured in. So now you find yourself blocked or at a standstill because you done poured yourself out so much to people who didn't even deserve you in that manner. You can't do for yourself. So sometimes the people that you're around need to be, there needs to be adjusted. They drain your energy. You know, things that you're doing. If you see that, if you drink a certain type of alcohol or engage in whatever, and it has you just spazzing out all the time, and people calling the police on you, and you know, you're fighting, wake up, you can't remember what went on. Perhaps you need to try something softer, something that's not going to hit you as hard. Learn your limit, okay? After 3 shots, I started to feel a little extra, so I'm going to just keep it at 3 shots, you know?
Right. I'm going to cut up at 4 shots. That's it. Don't do it.
Just start to alter certain things about yourself, and, you know, don't be so hard on yourself in it as well. You know, and you can't have that mentality of, oh, I'm going to be the same me. Well, you don't get the same stuff. You want different stuff. Nothing is wrong with making improvements in your life that's going to benefit you or benefit those around. So you got to just start to change certain habits. Wellness is a holistic integration of physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. So like I've been saying, you need like a care plan. You know, do a checklist physically. How am I feeling? Do I have ailments here, there, everywhere? What's going on with that? Become conscious of it. What can I do about it? Who can I contact to get help with this? Mental. How am I doing mentally? If it's something that is reoccurring in my brain that I need to deal with. You know, how check yourself out. On a holistic standpoint, did I pray today? Did I meditate today? Did I speak in tongues? Whatever it is that you do to help cleanse energy off of you, to help you to vibrate higher, you need to make sure that you're doing it and you're doing it consistently. You can't just do stuff one time and figure, you know, you're good because you're constantly interacting with different energies that's going to affect you different ways. So to just create a care plan for yourself, you know what you're putting in your body, what you're engaging in with your mind. You notice that you're talking to a lot of people that you talk to and y'all dogging everybody or steady gossiping or both of y'all complaining all the time. Like that's the root of all y'all conversations. Y'all just call and pour out that type of energy. Sometimes you need to pull back up off of it. Don't talk about what I don't want, what I don't like. Let's talk about what I do want, what I do like. Wherever you put your energy on, whatever you focus on, amplifies that in your life. And that's why a lot of stuff is going extra crazy sometimes, because when we get angry or sad about something, that's some powerful energy right there. So now you're thinking about the situation and whatever happened, and it's going over in your mind, and you're actually amplifying the power behind that situation that you no longer want to have a part of your life. So now you're going to have to start to mentally switch channels or write it out. and re-curse out whoever you need to curse out. Write it out. Then tear it up. And let's move to something else. Wellness necessitates good self-stewardship for ourselves and for those who care about and who care about us. Everything starts with self. Everything starts with self. Your love, you need to show it to yourself. Your loyalty, you need to show it to yourself. It all starts with self. You're gonna, radiate and pour out even more so in such a way to where you won't be drained. Because see, you already fed yourself. Because a lot of times we pour out love to others. Don't show ourselves love, but pour out love to others. Don't show ourselves loyalty, but pour out loyalty to others. And then you wonder why it's such a conundrum and Armageddon seems like it's going off in your life because you didn't pour this out to somebody else. You didn't pour it to yourself. The people that you poured it out to, not pouring it back into you. And I'm not saying like you outside doing a little charity thing, passing out something, and you expecting the people to pour into you on a personal relationship level to where those who really have you got a stronger energy connection with someone versus others. And the stronger the connection, the more impact you have on each other. But pour it into you. Give yourself some of that love. Give yourself some of that loyalty. A lot of times you mess up in the head because you went against yourself to show loyalty elsewhere. Now you're in a situation, right? You mad at them, but you really mad at yourself because you went against yourself. So let's stop doing that.
A lot of people think they need to go to other people or things just to get that energy and loyalty and all this other stuff instead of doing what you just said. Pour that stuff into yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Motivate yourself. Love yourself.
Yeah. And you will start to attract people who actually love you for you. Not the image that they feel like you should represent, knowing having the idea of the good, bad, and the ugly. But you're going to start to attract people who are going to accept you for who you are, love you for who you are, because you love yourself for who you are. You loyal to yourself. You got to set boundaries. A lot of times people feel like that love has no boundaries. And they say that, yeah, love has no boundaries. Yes, it does. It should. It should. Love should have no boundaries when it's both unconditional and on the same level, because y'all not in to destroy. But especially when you see that love is more so one-sided, or you having more headaches and happiness and so forth or whatever, yeah, you should have boundaries. You could love this person, but I don't love you enough to leave my person around you because I know you're still, I love you, but I know you're still from me. So I'm not going to leave my person around you, but I'm still like you.
Oh, you something else.
Just so that we can keep it all even, You have to, it's levels to this and who you're dealing with. But you should deal with yourself on the highest platform first. Because yourself gonna tell you, and yourself is telling you all the time. That's why when stuff happens, you like, man, I had a feeling I shouldn't have went through with that. I had a feeling such and such. Yourself was telling you all the time. You rolled the dice, you went anyway. Okay, that's a lesson learned. Let's see what we're gonna learn from this. Let's see how we're gonna continue to take life on. Maybe be able to help somebody else with the lesson and so forth, and make sure that these type of situations don't continue to happen. We don't have to keep repeating cycles, because until we get it, the funny way how this little universe is set up, until we get it the way we're supposed to, we're going to start seeing a cycle of it, a cycle. Different phase, same situation, a cycle, until you get what you're supposed to get out of it. And then after you learn something, it's going to come around again, but that's going to be a test. Because now that's going to give you a chance to see how far you really come. And, how made up your mind is, how definite your mind is about the decision that you make to make certain changes in your life. So it can be a time where, growth is painful, confusing. It's a whole new agenda. You got to move differently. and everything, and a lot of people become discouraged because you're falling and you're bumping your head, but it's okay. It's just like with a baby who learning how to walk. They're going to fall, they're going to tumble some, but we're never going to tell that baby, stop trying to get up and walk. You're going to keep encouraging that baby to get up so you can do it. So it's for the best. It's for your best well-being. Be considerate also. And I'm not talking to the people who already kind of got this, well, it's all just about me type of mentality anyway. No, your type of people need to start to become more considerate of others. Because we need to have a balance to where you're thinking of yourself and you're doing what's best for yourself, but you're also considerate of others, because we have to share this space together. We know how we feel when an injustice has been done against us. So we can't have the mentality that we are amongst the elite and can mistreat any and everybody based on, what we have going on in our own mind. So that's something that we need to be more mindful of. Trying to find that balance to where we are taking care of ourselves, plus being considerate enough to be open to helping others. That's where that balance comes in. We can't have everybody solely thinking about self. We can't have everybody only thinking about others. It has to be a balance. You got to know how to do your thing with you, and then be able to take that thing and do that thing. Anything is done.
But you got to be jealous. You got to be balancing them. Yeah. Got to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah, definitely, for real. So we have 8 mutually interdependent dimensions when it comes to wellness. The physical, intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual, vocational, financial, and environmental. So it's like those are perfect headings and topics that you can start to create your own care plan under. Your physical, what's going on with physically, weight, what goals do I have? Same thing with the emotional part, the intellectual part, the emotional, social, spiritual. You can break those up and you can create a care plan. And under each one, you only focus on that specific topic. And give yourself like little end dates and stuff, or check back in dates to see how far you've made it since you started your care plan. Also, I'm going to tell you, realizing what you have to be grateful for, not just at specific times when something comes through for you, but especially when things are going bad. Realizing what you have to be grateful for, what's still standing when everything else is crumbling. That's a good way of starting to uplift your energy, uplift your strength in yourself, because it's not all bad. And if you have this stuff that's good that's going on, as you put the energy into amplifying and thinking on that good that you do have, it'll start to amplify more and more in your life. We just have to understand how this whole energy thing works here on this little earthly plane. So the attention must be given to all of the dimensions. And, if you neglect one of them, it's the imbalance. So you can be good over here on the physical part, but then your pockets is still. So now you still lost here because you good physically, looking good, but you ain't got no money in your pocket. That makes you feel some type of way, or emotionally you're distraught. But you got all the money in the world, but emotionally you're distraught. So something, take it engaged. But in the meantime, I want you all to know that your well-being and your health is very important to us at Chilove Radio Station. The Chilove Radio Show will pop radio worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. And if you have a crisis, you can call 1-844-943-2384. Or if you know a youth that's in need, that's going through a crisis, they can call 1-800-442-HOPE, 1-800-442-8484. HOPE. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Chilove Radio Show. Once again, we will see you tomorrow with Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
It's your boy, Prince of Pain. Also checking out with Melanie Hogan with the Chilove Radio Show, giving you nothing but love, inspiration, and motivation out of Pop Radio Worldwide, putting on people radio. We want you guys to stay connected. We want you guys to feel free and email us at popradio@gmail.com or ChiLoveRadio@gmail.
Chilove Chicago
ChiLoveChicago@gmail.com. Send any thoughts, if you guys just want any information on how to get with Melanie, any information on how to get on her radio show, any information on how to give contributes and donations to her movement that she does so well. We're ready for you. We greet you. We're welcoming you here at Pop Radio Worldwide. We're going to phase 4. Everybody stay safe. It was a very, very difficult, violent weekend this week in Chicago. Let's use our heads, people. Let's use our heads. We love you at Pop Radio Worldwide. Tomorrow, Pop got nothing but dancers and baddies of the week with iHeartRadio. 7 p.m. Tune in. Let's get